Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay. Hello, folks.
What's going on?
We have Massachusetts, Indiana, and good old Louisiana looking tonight or examining Milwaukee's best premium.
In a 40.
I bought this 40-ounce bottle up north. They don't sell 40-ounce bottles of Milwaukee's best down here, and I don't recall them ever doing that in this area. Now, you said you had some trouble finding it, John?
Yeah, I had a hard time. I could find all the Milwaukee's best light you wanted, but for the frickin' premium, it's hard to find. Only place I found it was a CVS store.
Yeah, I see that very often at CVS. They might have a deal with Miller or something. What about you, Eric?
I had to go to 2 different stores to find it, and the premium was not advertised right in the front of the cooler. I had to go into the back and ask a stock boy where this beer was.
Oh, okay.
So it's not readily like advertised right when you go into the beer coolers at all.
Wow. Well, let me crack mine open. Lovely, lovely.
I am going to salvage this beer in a
nice plastic
Sam Adams glass to see if it does anything to the beer.
I'm just going to do it in your regular pint glass from your local bar.
Yeah, and I'm putting it in this Miller chalice because I figure it's a Miller brand, so why not? Oh, it's making buku smoke. Look at the smoke it's making. Well, you probably can't pick it up on this poor video quality, but it did make a lot of smoke. I'm not drinking this whole 40 tonight. I'm sorry. I'm just going to reseal it. Now, one good thing about these twist caps, you can really clamp down on it, and it'll hold the carbonation for a day or so. So that is convenient.
Convenient, yep.
Who wants to tell the audience a little bit about Milwaukee's best beer?
It is brewed for freshness and a classic taste. Oh boy, yeah. That's what I'm telling you about the beer. Is it 5% ABV? I'm probably getting that all wrong.
Yeah, it's 4.3 actually. John, you want to tell us anything that you know about it?
I know it was the, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it the 2009 World Series of Poker sponsor?
They did sponsor World Series of Poker for many years. It was mostly the light beer. I know that it won a gold medal in 2009 at the Great American Beer Festival, and it's also won silver and bronze medals in competition as well. You wouldn't want to look at the ratings for it on Beer Advocate or Rate Beer, though. You know what that would be.
Yeah, it does have. It's pretty low.
Yeah. So, but we've discussed that. Good grief. Hold on a second. Hello?
The beer head's already gone.
Congressman.
Already gone.
Oh, yeah, my head didn't stay around, but I had such a wide brim glass, and you did too, Eric. And John had that tall glass. Those tall glasses tend to build a little head. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of good carbonation to it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of streaming bubbles. I never get any kind of collar or foam on these wide chalice glasses. Okay, well, I'll give the rundown real fast. Milwaukee's Best was introduced in 1895. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I apologize, gentlemen, for a guy that works with technology all day. I don't know why I couldn't answer that call.
Tommy, all dressed up, all grown up and doing the town. Look at this.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. We've lost Jay. Did I lose Jay?
Okay, anyway.
That's Jay. I don't see Jay's. Wait a minute. Where's Jay at? I'm drinking some beer.
Okay.
I got the right beer. I'm not the right guy, but I got the right beer. Show me your can. Wait a minute. Everybody's frozen. What happened? What's going on here?
I don't know, Dave. This technology is so primitive. Now,
I went to 2 ghetto stores, completely ghettofied. Look, I don't know anything about beer. I hope I got the right one.
Yeah.
That looks. You got it.
Now let me say this though. I'll say this for our surprise guest. Now,
Never
A
know.
number of people have remarked that they were looking forward to watching the old Milwaukee review, and I said, wait, this is a common thing. People will say they'll get confused between old Milwaukee and Milwaukee's best, and that's understandable. But no, you caught us at the right time, Dave. We said that we were just getting ready to talk about the beer. Milwaukee's Best was introduced in 1895 by Gettleman Brewing of Milwaukee, a small brewing company. Nice.
And just to interrupt real quick, this is my dad's glass. When my dad died, it's been over 26 years ago, I got all his beer glassware. He used to use these beer glasses for Rolling Rock. Wait a minute. I'm not talking to that guy that just joined our call. He was just in Ohio. Weren't you just in Ohio with your brother? Or no?
Andrew,
speak up.
Tommy.
Forgot you were talking.
Brother? What?
hey, Andrew, where's your brother? Oh, he's frozen. He'll clear up. You know, these things get lagged and all of that. Well, anyway, yeah, that's Dave. That is a classic old American barroom Pilsner glass.
Yeah, and my dad had an entire collection of these. I've got like 8 of them, and I really treasure these glasses. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jay.
Okay. Oh, wait. I'll tell you why Andrew showed up, because when I was having trouble finding you, and I sent an invitation to every friend I have on Google+. So we might have a lot of people jumping in. But anyway, Gettleman Brewing Company, it was a small company. You know, they struggle a lot, and Milwaukee's Best was not a big brand. And in 1961, Miller Brewing bought Gettleman, and they said that the company was literally across the street from Miller. Their breweries were across the street. So Miller bought the Milwaukee's Best brand. They didn't do much with it for about 23 years, okay? Then Miller decided in 1984 to reformulate it. Now, I don't know what they did when they reformulated it. Apparently, they made it taste better, right? Like, you wouldn't reformulate it and make it taste worse, right? So they rolled it out in 84 as their budget beer to be a companion with Meisterbrau. You remember Meisterbrau? So,
I do remember that.
But then in 1995, they realized that Meisterbrau and Milwaukee's Best were cannibalizing each other. And so Meisterbrau was a little weaker, so they got rid of it. So this beer is sort of like their, what would you say, John or Eric, their premier cheap beer, you know what I mean?
Premier cheap beer. But if you remember right, and I may be wrong here, but when they introduced Meisterbrau, they kind of went over the top with that like it was some big famous craft beer. You know what I mean? It's something similar to that. Because remember, it was on everything. It was like Christmas Vacation and everything else.
They put product placement. They really spent a lot of money. But then they just, I don't know, they let it drop. I thought Meisterbrau was a little better than what we're drinking tonight. But
it was.
For whatever reason, you know, they dropped it. I hated to see it go. But in 1986, they introduced the Milwaukee's Best Light, which is sort of like the premier beer of this line, right? It's the most popular beer of this line. And then they introduced Milwaukee's Best Ice in 1994, which I noticed in northern Ohio is really big up there. I mean, every store I went in, they had Milwaukee's Best Ice everywhere. Now down here in Louisiana, it's obscure.
I've not seen it. Mm-mm.
It's pretty popular around here. The big 24 ounces of the ice you can find them about anywhere.
Yeah, it's weird, huh? Now this beer here is 4.3% alcohol, so you could drink a whole lot of it. You're not going to feel a whole lot. You know, you're not going to feel it too fast. So
Exactly.
It's ultra sessionable.
Yep.
Now,
I'm sorry, I excused myself. I was looking for the receipt for this beer because I thought when I bought it, I thought it said $5.99, and I got a 6-pack. I got a 6-pack of 16-ounce cans. So I thought, oh, $5.99. Okay, well that's not too bad. But I got up to the cash register, and the lady said that'll be $4.44. And I looked at my receipt on the way out. It said it was $3.99. Now we got 8% tax here in the city, 8%. So that's roughly 32 cents. And then the other amount of money goes to fund our basketball and our football and our baseball stadiums. It's called the sin tax because we've sinned by drinking alcohol, my friend.
Right. But now,
Yeah, but I tell you, at the same time, check it out.
Hello, Don. Hello, Don.
You can't smoke in any of those stadiums. You can drink till you drop, but you can't smoke.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Who's this new guy? I've never seen him before.
This is Don. Don, what happened was I was having trouble contacting one person, so I sent out an invite to every one of my friends on Google Plus. So. Now,
What the hell was that?
I'm getting it.
Now, $3.99 a six-pack is very common for Milwaukee's Best. If you go over here to Walmart in Laplace, Louisiana, you will see it for $3.99 a six-pack of the pints. So that's about as cheap as you're going to find for most beer, which is a bargain. Now, the question really at hand, though, is it worth drinking now, right, Dave?
Well, I tell you what. Before I tell you that, there was a 30-pack of cans at the first ghetto store I went to. 30-pack cans for $8.99.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Because I give $7.99 for $7.99 for a 12-pack.
Look,
That's what it is here. But a 30-pack.
I just bought this brand new Great Lakes beer that came out just today. Just today. $9.99 for 4 of them, and I'm talking about 30 of them for $1 less. I can see why people who don't have a lot of money. Okay, so I'm going to have to retract my statements of 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, I'm going to get back on here and make some new beer reviews, and I'm going to say
$38 for this.
What do you got there, brother?
Welcome to Canada.
Bud Light.
Oh yeah, Canada has these outrageous beer prices. I know. It's so.
Here's the beer.
It's insane.
This is the beer we're talking about tonight, and I got my little freezer coolie because I know you got to keep these beers cold.
Right. So okay, let's go down the line and give it a. We know what it looks like. It's golden. It's clear. It's bubbly. Typical American style lager. Let's give the aroma. Let's just examine the aroma. I'm gonna go first, and then we'll just go down the line. It's sort of roasty. You can pick up, I guess, the yellow corn grits, which Miller uses. If there's hoppiness, I don't know where it is. It probably use a minimal amount of hops just for balancing, so it wouldn't be ultra sweet. But anyway, what about you, Dave?
I don't find it offensive, but on the other hand, I can't pick out a lot of aromas in here. It's a little, if anything, I'd say it's a little bready smelling, like fresh baked bread. I don't get anything offensive in here, though.
No, neither me. What about you, Eric?
I'm getting the main thing that I get, if it makes any sense, is pretty much clean water. Clean water smell like it's coming from the tap. A minimal amount of sweetness, and a light graininess. But everything is just so really muted and dull.
Yeah, I think that's a good description.
I like what Dave said about this bread. Like if you go to the grocery store and they have the bread bacon in the deli, it does have that aroma. John, Sharon?
I pretty well agree with. It's got some corn and some bread smell to it, and a lot of water smell to it. But overall, I mean, if it was 100 degrees, that'd be a good beer.
Yeah.
It was good on the boat this weekend. I know that.
I've seen that.
Oh, you were drinking on the boat. That's right. Well, let's go with the flavor. That's the most important thing, actually. You know what I mean?
Here we go.
It's so much. Go ahead.
I've been drinking this off and on since February 1996. And it does have that tap water thing. Now, I always say that wheat beers have a really strong tap water presentation. I don't find it's as strong as that, but it has the water, but like you say, it's clean water. It's a slight bit of sweetness, bready barley malt. There is a trace of hop bitterness. A trace, but overall, it's just like my grandpa would be drinking this beer. You know what I mean? Down at the camp in Grand House, kind of thing. I would think of them guzzling.
Absolutely.
They're not. My family back in those days, they weren't not going to sit there and contemplate the beer. They were just going to drink it in major volumes.
I agree with that, Jay, and that's why I want to do this beer review or examination, whatever you're calling it tonight, because my grandfather drank these beers back in the days when cans were crap. You know, like you get that little horrible metallic taste on the beer. And I remember he gave me some of this beer when I was like 10 years old. I said, yeah.
Yeah, because
like metallic taste in my mouth. And I told my father. Oh, my father got so pissed because he gave me a taste of beer.
They used to use those steel cans that was like a roll, remember, and it had the soldering, and it always gave the beer a tinny taste. I'm glad they got rid of that. And I'm glad Coors invented the aluminum can. What about the taste from Eric and John?
One thing that I'm starting to think about is there's actually a very minimally light sourness. Maybe I'm getting this all wrong. Maybe my can tastes funny. Minimal sourness. There is pretty much a fresh, clean water taste. It is slightly sweet, has the corn and the grains, kind of has a wet, papery taste. That's kind of really what I'm getting there. Primarily sweet, clean water.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that, but
We're listening.
I'm going to say that, and I might be wrong. It's almost like a chlorine type taste as it goes down.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Chlorine? Really? I don't know if you want that.
I'm pretty sure that's not what Miller's shooting for.
Yeah.
No, but it's got some kind of a chromy, some kind of a taste. Not a bad taste, but it's something there.
Yeah, I'm not picking that up, but you know, we all know the mouthfeel is going to be light and watery, and it's going to finish what, crisp, refreshing, and dry. You know the stereotypical.
Adjunct lager.
Yeah.
You see, I've used an unfair advantage with you gentlemen, and I apologize. But look, I had the beer in my ice chest over here. I've got ice in here, and right now I've got the beer in this freezer coolie. So this beer is a lot colder, especially than what Eric has. Eric's sitting outside. That beer is probably warmed up to 50 degrees or better. Am I right, Eric? That beer is getting kind of a little bit warm. Oh, what you got there? You got it. Oh, Eric's cheating.
I was trying the koozie.
All right, Eric.
There we go.
But I agree with what Dave's saying. These beers are designed, excuse me, to be drank at almost freezing.
Yeah, about 38 degrees. 38 degrees.
And Jay, you know what? I'm not going to mention any names here, but Jay and I were in a chat last night with another gentleman, and he refused to put the beer in the refrigerator. He drank it at room temperature.
That was just a crime.
and that was a good beer. That was a chipotle pepper from a Stone Brewing Company. He served it at like 65 degrees. Hell no.
No, we couldn't go along with that. I mean,
no,
he said the beer was bad. He didn't like it, but he didn't. I can guarantee you that company that made that Chipotle beer would not recommend drinking it warm. There's no way.
But I will tell you, I got to stick up for old Milwaukee, and I got a meter back there.
Milwaukee's best.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Milwaukee's best. This beer, though, if you keep it cold enough, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And the price is right. God damn it. Oh, my God. $4.44 out the door, and you can get good and drunk on
so you can see why it's extremely popular and one of the top-selling beers in the country because, you know, Miller is brewing it according to a particular standard. It's not, you know, even Miller doesn't say drink Milwaukee's best. It's a great beer. It's world class. You know, I've got literature for Miller, and what do they say? Well, it's our budget beer. I mean, it's. But
I got this mirror up here. I don't know if I'll be able to get it up there where you can see it.
Yeah, I've seen those before.
You see, yeah, you saw a picture on YouTube, but yeah, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me get it. I don't think.
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah, there. It's over there. There's even the Lone Star in the picture.
Yeah, I see old Milwaukee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but, I remember when my grandfather drank that beer. It was in a white can with red letters.
Yeah, they have changed the label so many times. It's unbelievable. About every 3 years they change the label. But let's look at the overall. What is your overall impression of Milwaukee's Best Premium, the original 4.3% alcohol lager?
You're asking me, or you're asking everybody else?
I'll tell you mine first. Mine is that, it's pretty good. I drank it from time to time. I've never found anything off or wanky or wrong with it. I prefer a little stronger beer. 4.3 is a little too weak for me. That's why if I buy Milwaukee's Best, it's typically the ice version. But I have no issue with it. I like it, and it's got a good price. So that's my evaluation of it. And I can see why it's won those awards over the years.
I'll agree with you, Jay. I think for the price, it's a quality beer. A little low at 4.3, but for a good summertime beer, you want to sit around a campfire, you want to sit around, go camping, you want to sit around, just hang out and do something.
The boat.
Hey, this is quality beer. This is a good beer.
Yeah, the boat. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
I've got something in the cabinet that's true trash. Okay.
Uh-oh.
But it's not anything. Oh, believe me. But it's not anything like that. What about you, Eric?
The more I drink it, it does have that. To take a page out of John here, it's got like that Miller taste. It's got that Miller kind of a graininess that you get from the Miller Lite and the Miller High Life. So if you like those kind of beers and you want to save a few bucks, this is probably a good beer to go with, I would say. And highly drinkable, and it's very, very inoffensive.
Yeah.
And at $8.99 that I paid for it, I would certainly pick it up again if I wanted a normal average lager for a party or something like that. No problem.
Yeah, and I've always said that that Miller has kind of a house style.
And I agree with that. They do.
A lot of their grain, they have a lot of similar grainy flavors to their beers. If you have a Miller Lite or a Miller High Life, they all have that same kind of grain complexion to their flavor.
Yeah. Okay, now I agree with that. And I think that's coming from the yellow corn grits.
Probably, yeah.
Most companies don't use that, but they're always talking about that on their website. Yellow corn grits, yellow corn grits. But anyway, Dave, what is your overall impression of it?
Thanks for asking me, Jay. Appreciate it. I think I've kept this beer so cold for so long that it's kind of masked the flavors that everybody else is getting. But again, I found the secret to macro lagers. If you keep them cold enough, long enough, hey, look. Now you can't dispute this. I didn't make that up. Look at the lacing on the side of that glass. I can't make that up. I didn't make that up. And look, still got some carbonation going on. It's maintained a very small amount of head. But you know what? I can't fake that. But if you keep the beer cold enough, long enough, this will be good with a ham and cheese sandwich and a small bag of potato chips, man. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you definitely wouldn't want to drink it at 65 degrees.
Hell no!
Now, Dave, I'm sorry Don left, but I guess Don figured, why am I here? I only have Bud Light. But, Dave, you were mentioning something earlier, and I kind of cut you off, but not on purpose, but you were talking about you wanted to reevaluate some of these beers you were doing earlier in the month or last month. And
I really, I'll apologize to Eric and John and you, because I got on here, and I don't know. Who knows what's in another person's mind? I just got on here and bashed. I was in a bad mood. I don't know what the hell. But I don't know, brothers. But I'm going to get back on here. I'm going to have another macro lager review week, but it's not going to be the same beers. It's going to be entirely different beers. And I know I'm going to do Schlitz, and I want to do Stroh's. And since I got the Milwaukee's here, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to pick out 3 others. And I'm going to really evaluate them. But I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to have them freezing cold.
Yeah, but I don't think that's cheating, because you're drinking them according to the style guidelines. You know, like if you called Miller on the phone and said, hey, at what temperature should I drink Red Dog? They would tell you, damn, they would say, damn cold.
Not 65 degrees.
No.
Roughly 38 degrees, roughly.
Yeah, I think John's right. 38 degrees sounds good.
Right out of the back of the fridge, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had mine in the freezer. I had mine in the freezer before I started this. Excuse me, it's very carbonated. I'll be interested in watching those videos. Of course, I watched the original series, and they were very interesting. They were, different, but they were.
That's kind of you to say.
But let me throw this in here and see if anybody's going to jump back at it. But I think what we're trying to do with these beers is not promote the beers. It's not about whether we like these adjunct lagers over craft beers, or we like craft beers over adjunct lagers. What it is to me is you're showing the preservation of a beer that in 6 months, year, it may not be here again, and nobody may ever see this beer again. To me, that's what I feel like that we're trying to do is to drink a beer together that you may never see again. And I had a hard time finding it because a lot of the places I went today said that they quit buying it because the shelf life on it was expired before they could get it sold.
That's right. And who would have thought Meisterbrau would have been suddenly yanked from the market in 2005? Yeah. So, and like John said a few videos ago, John Sharon said, if these beers had never been around, then craft beer would not be around today.
Yeah, it's too bad.
They built the foundation.
It's too bad that I wasn't in town a few days ago when you came here, because I would have loved to give you a drive up the street here, and I would have showed you where the old Schlitz Brewery was and the old Stroh's Brewery. These are huge monumental buildings that today are gutted. They're gutted.
Oh, Lord.
Really
if you go to St. Louis, right along the Mississippi River, there's acres and acres of this humongous brewery, and they have these wrought iron gate fences, and emblazoned in each fence section it says Falstaff.
Yeah.
And that beer has been gone since 2005. I never would have dreamed Falstaff would be gone.
I think we're talking about the same brewery, Jay. That brewery was dismantled and shipped to China. That brewery was dismantled, and it was entirely shipped to China. And I think Harbinger uses that equipment now. But you know what? This beer is not offensive. It's not offensive if it's kept cold.
Right. And we're not rating the beer per se. We're just examining it.
I think maybe
I'm not rating it, but I'm saying that for
right. I understand what you're saying. You're right.
For the price. If you want to talk about value, you can't beat that price.
Bing, 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 bing. 2 thumbs up.
$4.44. Look, this beer right here, one single bottle at the store. I bet it's $4.99.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. What were you going to say, Eric?
What was I going to say? Oh, I think maybe now that Dave sort of reminds me, and I should have done it anyways and grabbed an even colder version, was I think some of that sourness came from the fact that it wasn't near ice cold.
Oh yeah.
Some of that flavor naturally came out. That I guess the room temperature of beer is actually supposedly the real flavor of beer. So I was getting its actual flavor, not its muted cold flavor, I guess.
Right.
Something like that.
So it's not meant to be drink warm. And one thing we do have to mention: it is not brewed with any additives or preservatives, and they always put the best by date on Miller beers, and that is the plus.
Yeah. You know what? I thank you, Jay. I was going to mention that. Right on the bottom of the can, it says October 2014. Very clear, easy to read.
I don't know why can't every brewing company do that? What is so hard about that?
Well, that's a $100,000 question.
Mm.
That's the $100,000 question.
Well, I just downed the rest of my glass, so cheers to that. That was very refreshing, I have to admit.
Well, I'll tell you what, I drank a hell of a lot of it. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not offensive. It's not going to kill me. I'll tell you that. I've had worse things.
Oh, I've had way worse. And so I think we're all in agreement that it's a pretty darn good beer, especially when one takes into account the price.
It's about
affordability.
The price. If you want to talk about budget beers, look, if you only got $5, that's gonna do it.
You're right.
This and Old Milwaukee are about the cheapest beers since I've done this project, and then now I've gone and looked at it. The old Milwaukee and the Milwaukee's Best are about the cheapest beers I can find in my area. Those two. Those two. I can get a 12-pack for under $9 of both of them.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
probably, that's comparable around here where I live. It's the same price.
I got
Under $9 for 12 pack.
two more things to say, and I'm going to shut my trap.
Okay.
Jay, you put a can up here the other night. And you said you'd be lucky if you find this can. I found it today in the ghetto store. That blue can that says OM on it.
Oh, Old Milwaukee Ice?
Yeah, with the big blue, dark blue. I found it. Yeah. And the second thing I want to say, while I was searching for this beer, I found hams.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, I found Olympia. I found Olympia. And guess what? Little Kings and Mickeys.
Wow, those are all classic beers. I mean, really.
Oh my God!
Really?
I should have bought them all at one time, so I don't have to stand in line again. Yeah.
Yeah, because those are all very iconic beers.
Oh my God!
Anybody have any last words? My last words are I enjoy drinking it. I have some left in the bottle. I sealed it up pretty tight, and I'm looking forward to the next examination.
What's the next examination?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go to my humidor and grab a $15 cigar and have a $1 beer.
I think I'm going to do that with you soon.
So you don't know the beer for next week. You have to figure it out. Or
We're going to talk about that off air, but
Okay, all right, no worries.
But we appreciate everybody watching. I hope they enjoyed it. If somebody asked me, if somebody came to me and said, "Is Milwaukee's Best a good beer to buy when I'm looking to save money?" I would say absolutely.
I have to agree with you. It's not, it's not the champagne of beer, but what the hell? It's cheap.
Right.
Hey, it's not the
ham and cheese and a bag of chips. There you go.
Right. What, John? Yeah, right.
It's not the champagne of beers, but it's the Boone Farms of beers.
Boone Farms. Okay.
I like you, John. All right, gentlemen. Hey, thanks for having me in, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, Dave, thanks, buddy.
Great to see you.
Yeah, it was very, very, very enjoyable. I was very happy with this examination, I have to tell you right now. So thank you, world, for watching this video.